Hello everyone and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to all of you. So what we are going to do right now is we are going to have a forum with the title of Hunger Crisis, Reflection and about the reflection of hunger crisis. Okay, so let me introduce to you of all of you about what is hunger crisis. So the global hunger crisis remains a critical issue affecting millions of people worldwide due to factors such as conflict, climate change, economic inequalities, and ineffectivities food distribution system. Despite advancement in agriculture and food production, many communities still struggle with food insecurity, malnutrition, and poverty, leading to severe health consequences and hindering social and economic development. This crisis is not just about the lack of food, but also about accessibility, affordability, and sustainability, making it a complex global challenge that requires urgent attention and long-term solution. So, we go to the some of article regarding to this crisis. For an example, we can look at the website of United Nations World Food Program, which highlight the term of a global food crisis. They thought that 70% of uh, our society nowadays suffer the hunger crisis. And also highlight by the World Food Program of USA, it highlight that global food crisis, 10 countries suffering the most from hunger. So, today in this forum, we are going to solve and here to our expertise in this field of hunger and food industry to solve this problem worldwide. So, let me introduce to all of you our panelists today. So, first of all, the first panelist is Datuk Dr. Muhammad Irfan Haziq bin Idris, scientist from UKM. And then, so our second panelist is Datuk Dr. Daniel Hakimi, also from the scientist of UKM. And our third panelist is Dinesh Raj, also the scientist from UKN. And let me introduce to all of you. I am the moderator of this forum, and my name is Professor Emeritus Dr. Muhammad Hakim Mirosli, scientist in the food and industry of University Malaysia. So, let's begin our agenda for today, which is, without further ado, let I take all point of view from all of our panelists, so you guys can talk some overview about this issue to us. So without further ado, let invite our first speaker, Irfan Haziq. Please welcome.
Thank you for Mr. Moderator, Professor Muhammad Akir Rosli. Okay, in my opinion, one of the most pressing yet overlooked issue contributing to global hunger is food waste. It is alarming that nearly one third of all food produced globally, about 1.3 billion tons, end up wasted every year. While millions of people struggle with hunger and malnutrition, food waste occurs at various stages of the supply chain, from production and distribution to retail and consumer levels. In many cases, farmers discard perfectly edible crops simply because they do not meet market standards for size, shape, or appearance, despite being nutritious and safe to eat. Additionally, inadequate storage facility, inefficient transportation, and poor handling lead to significant loss, particularly in developing countries where food preservation technology is lacking. In wealthier nations, supermarkets often throw away unsold food approaching expiration dates, and consumer tends to buy in excess only to dispose of large amount of uneaten food. This level of waste is not only an ethical issue but also an environmental and economic concern, as it contributes to greenhouse gas emission, depletes valuable resources like water and land, and raises food price. Addressing food waste could play a crucial role in combating global hunger by improving food distribution system, implementing better storage solution, educating consumers on responsible consumption, and encouraging policies that redirect surplus food to those in need rather than landfill. If food waste were reduced even by a fraction, it could make a significant difference in feeding the hungry and creating a more sustainable and just food system for all. Okay, that's my opinion for the global hunger issue. Back to you, Mr. Moderator.
Wow, what a wonderful point of view from you. So we go to the next panelist, Dr. Daniel. So what are you what are you think about this hunger crisis nowadays? Please welcome.
The moderator, uh, Kifli. Uh, I will talk about the disadvantage hunger issue because I think it can give many bad impacts to the others. Okay. Hunger is a critical global issue with numerous disadvantages that affect individuals, communities, and nations. First of all, the advantage hunger issue is malnutrition and health issues. Hunger leads to malnutrition, which has severe health consequences. For example, 733 million people globally suffer from malnutrition, resulting in a stunned growth, weakness immune system, and increased susceptibility to disease. For instance, in Nigeria alone, malnutrition cost the country an estimate 1.5 billion annually in lost productivity and healthcare expenses due to related health issues. Secondly, it also can give a impact to the economic. The economic ramifications of hunger are profound. For insecurity, can reduce productivity and increase healthcare costs, leading to a vicious cycle of poverty. The World Bank estimate that inefficiencies in the global food system cost around 10 trillion each year, highlighting the needs for systemic changes to improve food distribute and accessibility. That's my opinion. Thank you.
Wow, such a good explanation and overview from the Dr. Daniel. So we go to our last panelist for today, Teenage Raj. What do you think about our global crisis nowadays? Please welcome.
Okay, thank you for giving me the opportunity. So first of all, I think that we should need to understand the concept of what is actually global hunger is for us to talk about how it's affecting us right now. So we need to know that global hunger is not just about people being hungry all over the world, but it also refers to people that are not getting enough nutrients and also not getting enough foods that their calorie intake per day is required. So it is making a very big effect all over the world because this issue is has in a scale of a very big condition. According to few appropriate agencies, we already have a global hunger index, and according to their surveys, almost over hundreds of millions of people are experiencing chronic hunger, meaning that they do not get enough food for how much they need to eat per day. So it's not something that just one or two countries should be working together to solve it, but the whole world should be doing their best to overcome this issue. Because as for the reasons, it's not something that global hunger is not something that happens just because of one or two mini reasons, but it happens over a lot of big events that actually affects the well-being of the foods, such as the poverty or the climate, or even war could lead for global hunger. That's it.
Thank you so much to Dr. Tinesh Raj. So, we go to the main agenda for today, the global hunger, realities, and reflection. So, we start with the Dr. Irfan Haziq, which are the expertise in the field of academy. So, please welcome.
Okay, thank you for the that, Mr. Moderator. Okay, for me, I will explain about how to solve the hunger issue in economic aspect, or specifically in agriculture. Okay, the global hunger crisis is a multifaceted issue that required coordinated economic, social, and political effort. But I will explain in economic aspect only. Okay, there are three way to solve the hunger issue. First is promoting sustainable or agricultural development. Second is enhancing food system and supply chains. And the last is providing economic access to food. Okay, first, for the first point is promoting sustainable agricultural development. Okay, we can invest in smallholder farmers, like provide subsidies, credit, and training to small-scale farmers, especially in developing country. Smallholder farmers produce much of the world's foods, but often live in poverty due to a lack of resources. Okay, second for the first point is adopt climate resilient farming. Okay. The government, we can support investment in technologies and practice that improve crop yield and resist climate challenges such as drought resistances and efficient irrigation system. And for the last is strengthen agricultural structure. Build and maintain roads, storage facilities, and markets to reduce food losses and improve access to markets. Okay, for the second point, how to solve the hunger issue for the economic aspect is enhancing food system and supply chains. We can reduce food waste. Like we can encourage policies and technologies to minimize food losses during production, transportation, and storage, especially in developing regions. Next, we can improve market access. We can enhance local and international trade opportunities for farmers, ensuring fair price and stable income. And for the last is encourage urban farming. We can promote urban and peri-urban agriculture as a way to increase food security in cities and create additional income streams. Okay, for the last point is providing economic access to food. Okay, first is job creation and livelihood opportunities. We can invest in industry that provide employment to vulnerable population, enabling them to afford food. My bad, sorry. Second is strengthen social protection program. We can expand food vouchers, cash transfer, and school feeding programs to ensure vulnerable groups get access, educate, nutrition. And for the last is support fair trade policies. Okay. Implement trade reforms to ensure equitable trade practice, reducing food price volatility and making food affordable for low-income population. Okay, for the point that I give, I also have the evidence to support my opinion. First is in investment in smallholder farmers. Smallholder farmers produce about 80% of the food consumed in Asia and sub-Saharan Africa. Yet they account for a significant portion of the world poor. Studies by the Food and Agriculture Organization or FAO show that every 1% increase in agricultural productivity reduce poverty by 0.622% in this region. Okay, second is climate resilient farming. Okay, according to the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change or IPCC, implementing drought-resistant crop in Africa has increased yield by up to 20%, helping farmers adapt to climate change. Okay, the third evidence is according to the FAO, 14% of the world food is lost between harvest and retail, costing 400 million annually. Addressing food waste could feed about 1.26 billion people each year. And the last evidence is improving market access. Wait, In Ethiopia, the establishment of the Ethiopia Commodity Exchange (ECX) provide farmers with better market access and price transparency. This led to a 33% increase in farmer income within its first year of operation. Okay, in conclusion, solving the hunger crisis isn't just about feeding people, it's about building stronger economies and more resilient communities. By investing in sustainable farming, improving food system and ensuring people can afford nutritious food, we can take many meaningful steps towards zero hunger. This goal is achievable, but it requires all of us, government, business and community working together. Let's Let's commit to making hunger a thing of your past, because a world without hunger is a stronger, healthier, and more prosperous world for everyone. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Moderator.
That was an amazing explanation, tips and tricks how to end this hunger crisis. So we go to the next panelist, which is Dr. Tines Raj, to give the point of how to solve this hunger crisis in the aspect of academic. Please welcome.
Okay, thank you. So, as said by Dr. Irfan Aziz, world hunger is not something that we could be tackled without approaching it from multiple aspects. And so I'll be talking about the things that we could do from the point of view of academical aspect. So first of all, I really think that curriculum integration is something that we must do, because as what I'm going to talk about in curriculum integration is, it focuses more on including the food security and sustainable agriculture, while also the studies of nutrition in our daily subjects such as science or geography or even our social studies. Because when we do that, it's going to make our students understand about the need of each and every nutrition from a very early age. That being so, it could make them understand or also not to waste their foods, and also to know what kind of food intake is important for their body from a very younger age. While also curriculum integration could also be used to develop a specific subject in a university level, where they could use that subject to analyze a more in detailed version of what's the cause of this world hunger, or even a ways to combat this world hunger. Because when we do that, it's going to be more focused on what's the point of how this thing actually happened. So it's going to be more easier and also more effective compared to just a uh, normal topic studied in a school. As for the reasons why I think it's a good choice is because our UN has already introduced such a subject in few countries, like in Kenya. The subject's name is Zero Hunger Challenge, and it's apparently reported as one of the good subjects to counter this world hunger because they have already reported a reduction in food waste and also improved community nutrition takes, as it shows that by having studying from a very early age would make them to understand the needs and also the importance of the nutrition from the very beginning. Secondly, I think that schools should actually develop programs, so like school handle programs, which would it's like campaigns. So when they do the campaigns, it's also so that the students, which most of the students right now would feel the happiness when they eat the fast foods and all, but without them knowing that fast foods don't really have that much of nutrition intakes. So when the schools organize such kind of programs, it could provide a very good awareness and promote a, promote them on a very early level to know the dietary diversity and also the nutrition intake that they need to eat per day, so that which could lead for in the future they won't be labeled as one of the few that's also undergoing this world hunger problem. Apart from that, not just awareness, school could also implement school feeding programs. So by doing that, there are also students who have a very low income, that come from a low income family, that doesn't have enough money to get the foods they need, uh, that has enough nutrients they need. So from that point, the schools could give them a solid meal that they need, that's filled with all the nutrition that they need, so that from the early stage of their life, they're already starting to get enough nutrition that they need in their life. So as of the proof, also a study in Greece has shown that students also given this free meals program have been shown to be uh, not so participated in this world hunger issues, as they are being living with a very increased red- very increased nutrition in their daily intakes. As of lastly, I would say that the best way to actually combat this world hunger is by educating farmers, by also giving them a farmer specified training programs. So why would I say this? Because it's where world hunger is also an issue that's caused because of not enough of food supplies in this world. So as farmers, they are one of the main reasons and also suppliers for our real foods. So when we give them a proper training on academically designed educational methods and also sustainable farming practices, it could make them to also understand and to provide a better and quality food to our to this world. There's a research done in Ethiopian Agriculture Research Center that shows that farmers with high knowledge on these crop specific practices have been influencing their foods and also adapting to new methods that have made their crops to be more wealthier and richer in nutrients, which could also means that those that are going to eat the food will be rich in nutrients, so that they won't uh, have to undergo this crisis. That's it from me.
Thank you from the Dinesh Raj. So we go to the next panelist, which is Dr. Daniel, to overcome how the way for us to end of this crisis. So please welcome.
Thank you, moderator. Okay. Uh, in my opinion, solving hunger issue in a social aspect. How to solve this issue? First of all, improving women and marginalized group. Research has shown that improving women has a significant impact on food security, including to the Food and Agriculture Organization (FAQ). Women make up about 43% of the agricultural labor force in developing countries and are crucial to food production. When women are given the same access to research as men, they can increase their farm by 20 to 30%, potentially reducing the number of hunger people in the world by up to 150 million. Additionally, studies have found that women are more likely to spend their income on food, healthcare, and education, directly benefit their families and communities. Secondly, uh, how to solve the hunger issue is a community engagement also must uh, play a main role. Community garden and cooperative play a vital role in promoting sustainable food supply system. A study by the American Community Gardening Association (ACGA) found that community garden not only increase access to fresh produce but also strengthen community bond and foster social association. Participants in community gardens often develop a sense of ownership and pride, leading to be leading to better maintenance and sustainability of the garden. Local food programs such as farmers markets and food cooperative also provide opportunities for communities to access fresh, locally grown produce and support local farmers. Furthermore, the way to solve hunger issue is food equity and justice. Ensuring fair distribute of food is crucial for addressing hunger and malnutrition, especially among vulnerable population. The World Food Programme (WFP) has highlight the importance of targeting food assistance to those who need it most, such as the poor, uh, refuge, and rural population. Programs like the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program (SNAP) in the United States have been effective in reducing food insecurity among low-income households. Uh, Additionally, the concept of food, which emphasizes the right of people to define their own food system, is gain traction and a way to address food inequities and promote justice. This measure collectively help address social inequalities and build resilient communities to combat hunger more efficiently. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you to the Dr. Daniel. What a wonderful point from all of our panelists for today. So I hope our society will take notes all of this point and contribute to our global crisis, how to end this crisis. So before we end our forum for today, we go to the Q&A session. So I would like to ask Dr. Irfan Daniel, So, what do you think? Is Malaysia also suffering the global crisis or not? So, what is your opinion?
Okay, thank you for the question, Mr. Dr. Professor Hakim Rosli. Okay, for me, Malaysia is not currently facing a hunger crisis in the way that some countries experience severe food storage or famine. However, food insecurity remains a concern, particularly among low-income groups in Malaysia. So, for I will give some factors contributing to food security in Malaysia. First is rising cost of living. The increasing prices of essential goods, including food, have put pressure on lower income households, making it harder for them to afford nutritious meal. Second is income inequality. While Malaysia is considered an upper middle income country, there is a significant income gap and many families struggles to meet basic food needs. And the last is global supply chain disruption. Okay, even events such as the COVID-19 pandemic and geopolitical tensions have affected food imports and local agricultural production, impacting food availability and prices. Okay, for the conclusion is while Malaysia does not have extreme hunger, food insecurity remains a challenge, especially for the underprivileged. Addressing the issue requires better food disruption, sustainable agricultural practice, and stronger social safety nets. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Moderator.
What a wonderful point of view from you. So, Teenage Raj, do you agree with Irfan Haziq?
Yes, I agree with him because what he said is also backed by facts, and I also share opinion with him because I personally think that what he said is something that we should actually agree on as uh, it also goes by the aspects that I have been covering before this.
So, can you share with us some of effects of hunger crisis towards a country?
Sure. So this hunger crisis will affect a lot of aspects as it gives impacts to many points. We could go by the effects in economic aspect, also in social aspects, or even from the point of political aspects. So in case of, I'm going to talk about the economical effects. So first of all, the effects of this global hunger crisis would be that reduced workforce productivity in a certain country, because when a person is malnourished, he won't have the enough individual strength and also the energy to provide the workforce he's supposed to do, make them less productive at the work. Also, when chronic hungers happens, it's going to leave uh, it's going to make the persons to have a very poor decision making, which is going to reduce their efficiency in the point of thinking. So it's going to cloud their decisions and making it even worse. And lastly, I would say that countries with higher hunger rates struggle to build a skilled and competitive workforce because their focus wouldn't be in working but to satisfy their hungers, which could lead to the workers to not have any kind of motivations and also not have any kind of strength to undergo their works. While if you're going to talk from the point of view of social, I could say that this hunger crisis could also give a very a high increase in the crime rates, because when the food is limited, it's going to lead to a lot of food stealing cases, because it's going the value of food will be more higher compared to monies. So because there's no point if you have money but you don't have the food to buy it, which could lead to a lot of food stealing cases. And also, the social unrest could release a lot of violent crime rates, in which it could also increase in the few rural areas that's happening because of the food shortages. It would lead in conflicts between many kind of socials and also ethnic groups. That's it. That's it from me. Thank you.
So, we all know the effect about hunger crisis, but we don't know what is the cause that what is the root cause that made this crisis happen. So, can Dr. Daniel share with us the causes that lead to our society about the hunger crisis? Please welcome.
Thank you, moderator. Okay, I will share with you about the cause of hunger issue. First of all, the cause of hunger issue is poverty and food insecurity. Poverty is the most significant factor contributing to hunger. Research shown research show a strong correlation between income level and food insecurity. For instance, in 2012, 34% of households below the official poverty threshold reported food insecurity among children, compared to only 7% of non-poor households. Furthermore, households with incomes less than 50% of the poverty threshold experience high rates of food insecurity and very low food security, like 3% compared to their wealthier counterparts. Okay, secondly, the cause of hunger issue is climate change. Climate change significantly impact agriculture productivity through extreme weather events like drought and flood. A study indicated that individuals in countries with high income inequality are 33 percentage point more likely to experience severe food insecurity. This relationship highlight how economy factor factor intertwine their environmental condition can worse hunger. The lastly, the cause of I think the cause of hunger issue is income inequality. High level of income inequality undermine economic growth, benefit in reducing hunger. For example, individual in countries with high Gini coefficient uh, face a more higher probability of food severe food insecurity. This suggests that even in economically growing regions, those at the bottom may not benefit equality, proper, perpetuating hunger. Okay, that's my opinion about the cause of hunger issue. Thank you.
Thank you to Dr. Daniel. You always know how to talk about this issue. So, finally, we are all reached to the end of our forum for today. So, I would like to thank you to all of our panelists in insight about this hunger issue. So, thank you to all of the audience who are watching this video, and Assalamualaikum. Goodbye.